Welcome back to Kingdom Cast. It's your host, Bad Love Chuck. We back at it again. Oh, excuse me. Actually, it's Good Luck Chuck. I forgot Jeff changed my name for me. So shout out to
Yes.
Jeff Allen. I'm officially Good Luck Chuck now. So yeah, we back at it with another episode of Kingdom Cast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on all your social media platforms. Before we get to today's episode to conclude our NFL draft coverage, I'd like to introduce the panel here. Top middle of the screen is my guy Country. Bottom left hand of the screen is our guy Boogie. Bottom right of the screen is our homegirl Kylie. And we have a pretty dope special guest here. He's a legend in the game. He's been doing this thing on YouTube for a minute. He's been all over radio. He covers the Chiefs on the Locked On Podcast networks. He's also with RGR Football, and he does on a little program he has here. As far as covering the draft and everything, he's got his own draft book released as well. So I'd like to introduce Ryan Tracy to this episode of Kingdom Cast. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm hanging in. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Oh
most definitely,
man,
man.
The pleasure
thank you
is
for
all
being
ours,
here.
man.
You guys do a fun job, and I wish I had some of the back and forth. I do too many things by myself on camera, right? Like you all get good talking going. That's what I like.
You
Sure,
drink
most
though,
definitely.
so you got
Yeah,
us
I do.
beat.
Hey, you do this long enough, you gotta drink, right?
I, I
Hey man,
kind of drink sometimes.
we got you for a limited time, so we're gonna jump right in. At trade up from 29 to 21, we get a nice corner. Trent McDuffie, a guy that we didn't expect to be there. Um, quick thoughts on Trent McDuffie.
Not only do I like the player, but I love the fact that they went and got him when they had the chance. He actually was in the 22nd slot on my board. So it's perfect value. Like Veach and the guys in the front office went and did what they needed to do. And a lot of people are a little concerned like about arm length, right? He's not the tallest guy. He's not the longest guy, right?
Hmm.
But I take this all the way back to Peters. You went and got Marcus Peters. He wasn't a match either. Like you got him because of what he does on the field. And sometimes you make exceptions for arm length and things like that because he's just that good. He can do it all. He didn't play much man in college, right? But I seen him do it and he can. I'm really excited for this fit because it makes him just be able to do anything.
Are you comping him and Peters together?
No, he's not like the ball hawk like Peters was, but he's as versatile. If you want to just talk versatility and being able to play different styles of coverage, he can do that. He has a little bit of that like baiting the quarterback to try to throw at him. He's just angularly, I don't think he's as good in the air taking the ball away. That's about it. But he's just as crafty.
Okay, so he can basically replace what Honey Badger brought to the defense, pretty much, for the most part.
He'll get his hands on balls. He'll get PBUs more than picks, though. That's the only problem. So you're not going to end up with it like in Mahomes' hands is the only difference.
Gotcha.
So I was going quick. Does the lack of interceptions, does that concern you? Or he's around the ball so much it's not?
He's around the ball. He doesn't allow a whole lot of yak. Like he understands where it is. He's the field general in terms of, Chuck, what you were saying, like about setting up the rest of the secondary. Like he is that guy. So that part's awesome. You can compare him to Tyron that way. But he's not a top 10 pick because he didn't take the ball away. If he had 6 or 12 interceptions in the last couple of seasons at Washington, he'd have been a top 10 pick.
Understandable. So at pick 30, we got the Greek freak. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name. I've gotten better at it, but I'm not going to waste any time.
George Karlaftis.
Karlaftis. We actually seen him live at the draft fest. Huge dude. He's not little at all. Like, so what are your thoughts on Karlaftis?
He's not little, but he's still a little baby face, right? Like he's got some maturation still in him. Like he's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. I think he's got probably a good 10, 15 pounds he can still put on as he matures through the league, right? And he's got not a lot of time in ball. So he's got upside. A lot of like the national voices think that like, oh, he's a finished product. He's just going to be what he is. I think he's got room to grow because hand-wise, he doesn't use his hands as well as I think he will be able to. He plays with power. He plays with a great first step. What he's good at, he's really good at it. But I think he will be able to attack more variedly in 3 seasons, maybe, kind of like Tamba. Tamba showed up and he was a pretty straight line athlete as well. And he learned to dip. He learned things like that. And I think you saw progression from Tamba. And I think I'm not going to say that Karlaftis can, and it is car loft like the apartment and I won't say he can get to Tamba's level, but I think he can improve and be more of a complete player than he is today.
Complete segue. Tamba was at the draft fest too, and they walked and they met in the middle and they hugged and I almost shed a tear because I just want them to be friends and get real close to Tamba. If he can bring that type of energy, that type of motor that he already has, if he can bring it like Tamba and get the skills and the hand fighting and the judo or whatever he got to do, if he can put that package together, man, we sitting pretty day one.
Absolutely. And Master Kim, I still think Tamba has some ties. Maybe you can get him in with him in the off season and work on hand usage in particular, striking in particular. I think he can come a long ways on. So there's some room to maneuver there.
Okay.
Man, I saw some interviews with him after he was drafted, and his energy, he is so fired up and ready to just prove everybody, like, I'm here. I'm going to prove that I'm worth this draft pick. Like, no one's better than me. And I just love that energy. I love that hunger that he has. And I'm excited to see what he does. I was surprised to see us take him. Were you surprised at all by that pick?
I actually had a couple players that I think were a little bit more dynamic fits, but I think I pegged this like 2 weeks ago. Like, he's such a Spags guy. You knew as soon, unless he like had a really bad attitude or something, you knew Spags was just going to love him. So I didn't see all of the post-draft stuff because I was still on camera, but I saw some of the things, and it's not only is he got a good forward attitude, but he seems like a guy that can lift other people up too. Like, he's got a big personality too. I think that's important for the defensive front group.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Do you think he has the potential to be a 10-sack guy, or do you think he's more of a 6 to 8 range?
I think that's right on the cusp. Like, if he puts up 7 the first 2 years, I think it's okay because he's within striking distance of putting it all together. And maybe so he can train in the offseason and put those finishing touches. Maybe he can get to 10. But he isn't a guy that looks to me like comes in and you see like 14 in a season potential to me.
Okay, so my next question. So the next guy we're gonna talk about is Skye Moore. Chiefs Kingdom, we was looking for a receiver to not say replace the production of Tyreek Hill, but somebody that's good, they can fit within the offense and everything. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons with Skye Moore. People saying the next Julian Edelman, people saying Tyler Lockett, Steve Smith, all that stuff. Okay, so like, what do you think Skye Moore can bring to this Chiefs offense, and what's his potential?
It's his wiggle and the yak. Like, it's not about how you get the ball to him. It's when you get the ball to him, what he does after that. So that's the best part of it. And you can't do the deep overs. And like, he doesn't have the top end speed like Tyreek did. Nobody does have the whole package, right?
Right.
But what he brings in maneuvering after he has the ball, it's not quite Tyreek, but it's what, 80% of it maybe? He makes dudes miss. He can run through some arm tackles. Like, he sees the field well enough to set up blocks to really take things deeper into enemy territory. That's significant. And so, like, when the Tyreek trade happened, like, the big thing for me was you're not going to get one player that can do it, right? So you got to put him together with multiple dudes that add up to him, right? And so you get the deep stuff from MVS. You get like the power stuff from Juju. You can run the behind the line of scrimmage, the jet action with McCole or Skye. And now Skye has that open field kind of like jink and junk and get loose kind of stuff. So together, you've got now 4 directions, pack and throw the ball, and you get a little piece of Tyreek all over the field.
Ron, I got a question for you. When McCole came out, did you have him graded higher than Skye Moore?
Oh, I'd have to think back. I don't think so. They were close, but I think I had McCole in the 60s. I had Skye in the 50s, so not a huge jump, but a little bit. The problem was for McCole is because he only played like 2 years at Georgia as a wide receiver. So he was still learning, whereas Skye's got a little bit of that headway. Like, in terms of development and recognition and stuff, they're actually pretty close now. And I think that's actually good for McCole because I think that'll push him to take the next step. I like what we saw from McCole, like from week 12 on last year. And I think if he keeps pushing, he could take that step forward.
Okay, so we go. Sorry, so let's talk about the next guy here. We actually had to talk about. Let's talk about all of our secondary guys, man, because I'm
All
interested
eight
to
of them.
see. Yeah, because I'm interested to see who's gonna make the squad and who's gonna be on special teams and all that stuff. So we drafted Brian Cook, we drafted Joshua Williams, um, Jalen was it Jalen Wilson,
Watson.
right?
Jalen
Or
Watson,
Jalen Watson? I'm sorry, Jalen Watson from Washington State, and then we
the
got the guy from
safety,
Marshall. Yeah, the safety from Marshall.
the
Okay,
Zine.
so yep. Okay, so like, how do you see the secondary shaping out overall? Because there are a lot of guys in the room right now,
There's
as
a
far
lot
as
of
like
guys.
positional battles.
I see like black guys coming in camp, right? Like they're going to be fighting for spots, and I think that's good because you need that spark, right? McDuffie's going to get a slot and a potential to slide right in as a starter. That's the nature of being a top 21 pick or whatever. But he's got the physicality to do it as well. And so like the question becomes is how do you use him? Is it LJ in the slot or is Legarius stay outside and McDuffie's on the other side and Fenton's in the middle? Like how do you wrap it? Because I think that makes a big difference of whether Baker has a shot. Lonnie Johnson might be a guy in the mix as well, you guys. Like I know it's been like a day, but they didn't go out and get him for nothing. And the Texans misused him as a safety. He's a corner. He's a hands-on corner, and that's what he needs to do. So, like, I feel like he can not only rebuild his reputation, but he can help the Chiefs out because he is their style, right? He's got speed, he's got length, he does all those things. Jalen Watson, I really like him as well, but the corner group is pretty feisty at this point. And so Jalen's he doesn't have quite the explosiveness, but he's got the length, and he deals with power pretty well. Like everybody saw Drake London destroy teams for 200 yards and stuff, right, last season. Well, Jalen went up against him one-on-one and kept him to 88 yards. And I know that doesn't sound like a big win, but when you're talking about he just went off for like 216 the week before, like that's a pretty good day out. And I feel like that's the level of competition he's going to face. So he's probably a guy on the outside right now. I think Boodle's in the mix as well. But I think the corners are going to be a better group top to bottom this year. It's the safeties that are a bit of a question mark. And I think Cook becomes your number 3 like right now today. And I am all here for it because that dude is going to knock somebody out, and that's what I'm waiting to see. He's probably my favorite pick of the draft in terms of like fit and what he's going to bring to the field tomorrow. That's really exciting. And he's been on that championship team, right? Like you get in the college football playoff. Well, that's like playing the NFL every week. So you got a taste of it, and I think that actually helps the guys transition to the NFL a little bit better when you've had that kind of elite competition. That's why the SEC guys are always that good.
So would you put him like in that Bernard Pollard type of hitter type thing?
Not quite
safety?
there. Close because Pollard's not as athletic as he is. And I talked to Bernard last year actually, and he's like everybody thought I couldn't run, but I could run, and he could. But Scott's that much better. Like if Scott had gone to Brian Cook. Scott Cook is another guy that I have in my head for some reason. If Cook went to timing, I talked to somebody on the ground that has seen him train that thinks he's in a low 4.4s if he had actually gotten timed. So people are concerned about it because he didn't have to do that on film very often, but he can get on a horse and go too. So like I am uberly confident that he'll be able to do everything the Chiefs ask him to do.
Throw him in there with Bobby. He'll be all right. Bobby Stroud. Throw him in there with Pat's boy. He'll be all right. The breaking news yesterday, Justin Ross. If this guy's healthy, I'm giddy, I think. Like this guy is kind of crazy. How you feel about Ross?
The year the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl, I had him as the best receiver in college football. I know that was a couple years ago. But that's how good he was. The injuries are certainly a big concern, right? But you saw him battle through that. I mean, the dude had like 2 neck issues, one that they had to surgically fix, and he was still out there playing last year with a quarterback that couldn't find the side of a barn with the football. Like, and he kept powering through it. I think he got a little beat up. The foot injury, I think, caught up with him, and I think he got a little disgusted really with the stuff he was dealing with. And not being able to get the ball in a place where he could take advantage of that kind of thing. And I don't think that it broke him. And that's the big thing for me. He got frustrated at times, but I didn't see him like quit on his team. And that's a big character thing for me because you're going to have that adversity, especially with these injuries. So if the Chiefs check him out, he's healthy and he can recover. They might even leave him on the PUP or the NFI list the whole season like Malik Herring, right? If you just want to let him get all the way healthy, I'm fine with that, because you might have spent what was his bonus, like 18 grand, and get you a $4 million wide receiver in a year. Like that's what the payoff could be.
Yeah, so like the receiver room is that's another room that's pretty deep as far as like competition. But I think like maybe like the first 4 or 5 might be solidified, in my opinion. Like how many receivers do you think the Chiefs are going to keep out of all those guys that are on the list? I think it was like 17.
Yeah,
Really?
you're not kidding. Although they didn't go out and sign 8 more UDFAs, or I'd be even more concerned. But so that was a good thing. But Dave Tobe is still coaching here, so they're going to have 6 no matter what. Can they sign 7? It all depends on the DB balance. I think this year, they're going to have to go more like 6 corners and 4 safeties. Maybe there's another guy in there. I doubt it. But if they only feel that they have 9, it could be a 7th wide receiver that balances that out, right? But no matter who it is, they're going to have to play special teams, and they're going to have to be able to give them some inkling that they have something beyond that to offer when somebody gets hurt, or it's, week 11 and there's 2 guys out or something like that. So you got to have a little bit of upside there as well.
So Ryan, me and my co-host Boogie, we both had our draft crushes. His was Jameson Williams, and I was a George Pickens guy. Can you make us feel better about them passing on those guys just a little bit?
I mean, when you fall in love, what can I do, man? But, I can help Boogie out, though, because I do know that the Chiefs were working on a trade to go up for him, and it just didn't work out, and the Lions got up higher. And that's the main reason. I know they were interested. So they tried, at least. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
I said make them feel better, Ryan.
That did not work, man.
No, that sucks. Okay, never mind. No, they hated him. They wanted nothing to do with him. There? Damn. I'd rather them try and fail than not even care, right?
Right.
Because that's the kind of thing, is like the injury, I think, drove him off of Pickens a little bit. Like, I think they were concerned that when he came back, he didn't have enough production. He didn't have enough explosion. So I think there's some concerns long-term about whether George will get back to what he was as a freshman as well, right? So I think that's why. I can't say for certain. I haven't talked to anybody in the organization about it, but that's kind of the feeling that I get. And there were multiple teams that did the same thing.
All right, so like oh, you go. You want me to go, Country?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Ryan, what I want to get into is you are the founder of RogueAPC.com, like the performance consulting website. So like you did a draft book yourself this year, and you got all these different terms that's right in front of me. That's still available. You break down like the athletic matrix, the film rankings, the playmaker matrix, and composite rankings. And I see you got all these terms here with like bear, hawk, eagle. So like, give us a little bit of a breakdown for those that are watching of like how you came about as far as coming up with this NFL draft guide of yours.
Yeah, it's just ways to put nice names on stuff that I've been doing for 20 years. Because I used to be a coach. I used to be a performance coach. I was a strength and conditioning coach. And these are all kind of things that when we tried to take the athleticism and match it up to production, these are the things that I always looked at, right? And so it kind of starts front to back. And because it's defense and I like defense, I tried to give them scary animal names, and I just kind of stuck with it. But so the bear race for the big guys, right? It's how well do you get behind the line of scrimmage when you make TFLs, when you do get sacks or pressures, and how often is that versus how many pass rusher snaps you get versus run snaps? You put that all together, and then it's like, how often are you affecting the play as a front 4 guy? And so that stacks, even it doesn't matter like if you're in a 4-man front or a 3-man front, like Myjai Sanders played basically as a 5-tech all season, but he actually showed more production from that spot than a lot of the 4-3 edges. So it's a way to kind of balance everybody out depending on what their college scheme was. And then you back it up a little bit. And I probably should come up with another one there for the linebackers themselves, because bear kind of applies to them too, but they can also be hawks. Hawks is just your standard thing. How do you get PBUs and interceptions? How often do you affect the passing? And it's not just about completion rate, because that's a big one for me. You look at any of these corners, they got to stop the pass somehow, whether it's body positioning or actually PBUs or interceptions. And so I try to put that into the hawk rate. And then Eagle is for a lot of the safeties or these combo guys like Tyron that can be kind of a nickel, can be a safety and plays all over the field, right? Especially, it was Tyron that made me change it a little bit because of how much blitzing he was doing, he and Snead. And so that kind of wraps everything together, like pressures, sacks, TFLs, how much you affect passing when you take the ball away, wrap it all up into how many plays are you affecting in a given season and what's your impact on it. That's what the Eagle rate is. And so really you can apply it to anybody on the defense, but I just keep it for the DBs because they don't get enough love, because you get so many targets and so few actual plays on the ball. It makes it look like comparatively you're not affecting the game like the D linemen are, right? So that's my attempt to balance it all.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting, man. So yeah, people, if you haven't got that draft guide, I know the draft is over. Yeah, definitely cop that. A lot of great stuff in there. Definitely.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
For sure. So I want to ask you about I want to go back to the draft class. This was my favorite guy so far because, like Country mentioned earlier, we was at Draft Fest. Leo Chenal, he was the guy that brought the most energy. The guy's fired up. I like the fact that he said he's going to bring violence and physicality to the defense. And you really got a guy that writes death row on his arm. That's a guy you want on your defense. So what do you think about Leo Chenal and what he can bring to the table?
I'll tell you what, I want to see him and Pacheco in an Oklahoma drill in camp. I'm looking forward to those two colliding. That should be a lot of fun. Like, Leo seems like the dude you go to the party and he's in the corner with his pals, like crushing beer cans on his head. Like he's going to be fun, right? Like, I look forward to that. He's like a downhill, all kinds of forward momentum guy, right? He can drop a little bit, but he's going to crush dudes coming downhill. The question is he's a good athlete. He tested really well. They just, at Wisconsin, they don't ask you to man cover at all. And if you do drop cover, they don't ask you to really be variable from that. Go to your spot and wait to see what happens. So he hasn't really had a chance to become a coverage guy. I think he's got a little upside there. And I certainly think that, like Nick Bolton, Nick isn't a man coverage guy either. Nick's a get to a spot, but he's so instinctual when he's there. He can read what's going on and go make plays. And I hope that Leo could kind of learn from Nick because, I mean, Leo was a Mike in college, right? He's going to play the Sam for the Chiefs in the base, but there's a possibility if Nick twists an ankle when it's Leo, it's going to be the Mike that week. So there's an opportunity then to do the same kind of things. And I really look forward to seeing like how those three guys, Willie and Nick and Leo, will grow up together, given that, they're all just a year apart, right? I think they're going to become a threesome that's going to hurt some people.
And I got a follow-up to that. So our friend of the show, Jeff Allen, he was on here not too long ago. He tweeted saying that this guy could be Luke Kuechly. He's like, he don't know how he landed to the third round. Like, do you see a potential in him being a Luke Kuechly type of dude, or is
he's
that
got the athleticism? Yeah, I didn't see it just because I'm thinking of Luke like making plays in the pass game, and I don't see Leo doing that. But he's got all the speed, he's got the explosiveness. I'd have to go check, but I'll bet you he's really close on his change of direction too. So Jeff's got a good point, and Jeff's seen enough of it from eye level. I'll trust him.
Man, so real quick, so we talked about the secondary. We just talked about Leo Chenal. How comfortable are you with that front seven? Or even the front four, that defensive line after this draft?
I mean, I'm comfortable. I'm not like, no care in the world. Somebody gets hurt, it's looking a little thin still, right? Like, and I'm a big fan of Mike Dana, but Mike Dana is going to come in and give you a solid output. He's not going to hurt you, but he's not going to be a force in the pass rush either. And I think what we see is in this group, and honestly, over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of guys on this roster, a defensive end in particular, who can hold it down for you and have learned to play the run enough to be steady. But we just don't see the upside. We don't see the attack out of them. And so, like, that's what I'm hopeful for. So I want Melvin to come in. I like that they put this crazy, like, the tag that like two people have ever used in the history of the NFL, like it never gets used. I'm glad it's there because I think Melvin will help. And I do like the idea of him being able to be like not an every down player because Melvin's 33. I know he doesn't want to go to camp. He doesn't want to do any of that. And I don't blame him. So let him rest because the rookie needs all the reps he can get. And I see those guys like rotating really well. And I even like the idea eventually, like when it's like pass rush for real, like a desperate situation where it's like Frank, Chris, George, and Melvin all together. And that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. All right, Bug. So it looked like you came off mute earlier.
Yeah, I'm with you on that with Melvin Ingram. That's what I was gonna ask. Did you think with them doing that, what's that restricted free agency? What is it called?
It's called a UFA tag, which
UFA tag. With that, it seemed like he probably most likely will be back. So with Ingram added to this, you think that will be enough?
I think so. If you get into trouble or you need like, you got to play the Titans and they're going to run all over you, like you get significant reps out of Dana, right? You hope that Kando can figure stuff out. Like he got hurt so early and was so out of it. Like we don't even know if he made progress in understanding like how to dip and control himself and some of his hand usage, the things that he needed to work on. He could be a monster right now and we just haven't seen it. So like I'll keep my fingers crossed. But I think with Karlaftis now, you have Melvin, him, and Frank that can at least rotate. And you have a starting trio. And then if everybody else comes along, you could get some nice push out of that.
All right, Ryan. I know you kind of pressed on time here, but before we wrap things up with you, man, we appreciate you hopping on with us, man, taking the time to at least, join us here. So I want to go to DJ's question. Who is your favorite draft pick? And then I also want to ask you about your Locked On experience in the studios covering the draft. So favorite draft pick out of it.
Honestly, it's tough for me because they picked two guys that I really had high on my board as personal needs in McDuffie and Cook, but just for fit and what he's going to do. Like I am so pumped to see Cook on this team. He's my favorite pick that they made for what we're going to see, especially in 2022. And the stuff on Locked On, that's a challenge. So I've put out, so I've been doing my metrics and stuff for about 15 years. I've been publishing it for about 7. The draft guide, this was like draft guide 5, I think, for me. But that's all nice and tucked away, and I get to watch the draft and like chat on my own little channel and take it easy, right? This was like information nonstop. I did 18 hours of live TV, and it was crushing. Like I had to have a stat or a film take on every player selected. And I came up short in 3 spots. So it was tough, and they caught me a couple times. Bugs me, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's a challenge. Locked On Network has been great to me. Like I was an independent podcaster. I started one when I was working for a no-name website that I know I'm a terrible writer. They kept wanting me to write stuff. And I'm like, how about I just talk for a while? And so we started, it was called the Check With Me podcast in like 2015. And we had 13 subs. And it didn't last long. It went about a year and Locked On came calling. And since then we've gone to a show that now, we talk to a lot of people every week. And it's just cool. The whole podcast thing has bloomed, and this whole doing it on YouTube and then making it like that's even better because I used to be talking into a phone half the time. So the Locked On experience has been really cool to watch over the last few years, and it's only getting bigger. We got bought by a TV network, and so that's why there was a broadcast this year. I'm hoping to convince them. I'm twisting all the arms that I can to make it come to KC next year so we can do the draft from somewhere in town, and knock on wood, we'll see what happens.
That would be fire.
That'd be awesome.
I'm hoping.
Hey, Ryan, I just wanted, I know we got short time. I just really want to applaud you and give you your flowers, man. You've been a legend in the game. I've been watching you probably since then, like for at least 5-10 years, like, tuned into the podcast. And Daniel has came on a couple of times. He's been great with us. He's been a friend of the show. When this particular podcast was just an idea, you and BJ were sort of like the first guys I reached out to, and you encouraged me, you supported me, and man, I thank you. I really appreciate you. I know time is short, but you already made a promise you're coming back.
I will definitely be back.
We're definitely holding you to that, man. You do great work, man. We really appreciate you. I'm speaking for the whole kingdom. I'm speaking for my our particular podcast. We really appreciate the work that you put in, man. We know you dedicated. We know you smart. You know what you're talking about. And then we go to you for that information, that extra information, especially in times like this with the draft, So I just want to give you your flowers, man, while you can hear.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. I'm glad somebody listens. For a number of years, I didn't think anybody would. So you all have taken it and run with it, though, and I love what you guys do and being able to get Jeff and go through the whole thing and have like real conversations. There's too many people that start podcasts and then they don't got nothing to say. You all don't have that problem, and it's great, and I'm glad to see it. So I apologize. It's only a half show today, but I promise you next time we'll get the whole thing done.
Oh, Ryan, this was our application. So, read over it. And this interview was our application to join up.
Okay.
Nah, man, we appreciate you, man. Really.
Back at you. You guys rock. Have a great night, and I will catch you next time before we go to camp.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate
you, man.
Oh, man. Ryan's a great guy, man. He got so much knowledge of the game, and like, bro, you learn so much just watching this podcast. He's a trailblazer, man. We just trying to follow that same path and get to that level, man. Cause, woo. So
yeah, the chat is killing you in the comments, bro.
Our two co-hosts, bro. Wait,
please,
man, I don't know what's going on with my phone. I do not know what's going on with my phone or my internet. I'm gonna get whatever. Hey, Juice, get to work on them shirts, Juice. That's what you do while you talking.
Metro Bus.
I got the Metro PCS.
Hey,
they got all the jokes. They got all the jokes tonight. Yo, it's good to see our co-hosts. Where y'all been at? Chicago. Boogie been working a new job, new hours, adjusting. We getting it together, man. How was Chicago?
Oh, I ate my way through that city, so it was great. I was sweating. I feel like I was sweating pizza sauce and meatballs. It was so great. It was great. We actually posted up every night, watched the draft, had some beers. Was very pleased with what happened and what transpired. So it was a great time.
Man, that Portillo's look fired. That Portillo's look fired, man.
Like, I can't even, I'm sweating. I can't talk about it because it's like so exciting. We actually were going to get a bag of chili dogs before we left, and we left before they opened. So that was kind of a bummer, but you can get it delivered to you. This is not a plug for Portillo's, but I did learn that when we were there. So there's options.
Boogie, you want to address this comment, Boogie?
I'm over James. I'm trying to get over Jameson, man. I like the Skye Moore pickup though. I feel better about our draft overall, for real. I think we did pretty cool. Veach, this is 2 drafts back to back so far on paper. So I give him his credit when it's due. I think we hit every need. I still wanted Jermaine Johnson over Greek Freak. I mean,
man,
of course, I thought for sure.
We had opportunities to get Jermaine Johnson and Pickens, and to find out we were in on Williams. It was a hell of a draft, though. Look, despite all that, we still had a hell of a draft. It still was an A+ draft.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best drafts he done had. Like I said, on paper, they still got to produce. I'm really
no doubt
with Skye Moore though, man. I want to see what he do.
Are you back on the Veach bandwagon, Boogie?
Veach get a passing grade, man. I'm giving Veach a passing grade for this draft. I think he did a good job. Like I said, I think we could have picked probably 2 different players, but overall, we got the corner. Everybody kept saying we wouldn't draft a corner. That's not what Veach does in the first round. We know what we do with 3rd, 4th round corners and undrafted corners. We make them look decent. So I want to see if we can make a first round corner to a Pro Bowl type corner. So I want to see that.
Okay, on a level of we'll go 1 to 5, 5 being the most, 1 being least. Around the room, how shocked were you that we took a corner with that first pick? I was a 5.
I was a 5. I was a 5.
Yeah.
None of us expected
5.
them to pick a corner in the first round,
No,
especially that was
No.
the first pick too, and the trade up for it. Like that was crazy.
When I
5.
heard we were trading up, I was like, "Oh, here it goes, Jermaine Johnson. That's what's happening." And they were
Easily,
like,
right?
"Trent McDuffie," and I was like, "Okay, this is fine." I was totally shocked. Totally shocked. I had to like.
I ain't gonna lie, I was a
it
little
was
upset.
a big surprise.
I was actually upset. Like, what do we do with this guy? Because
I saw you.
we hadn't even processed the fact that we would draft a corner in the first, let alone move up for a guy, a corner in the first round. It just was like they're not gonna take a corner. So we had completely wiped corner off the board. You know what I'm saying? And then to steal him from Buffalo was just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, at first I was like, huh?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
just because he took a corner, I was like, huh?
me and Chuck
But
were shocked. We didn't see that coming, bro. That was wild. Like I said,
We were on the Fox 4 Zoom, and it was like, wow, like from everybody in the room was like, wow, like a corner. Like Karlaftis, I know Chuck didn't really like him at first. I wasn't mad about it. I think, bro, we went to the draft fest. I'm gonna keep saying this. Brian Cook and Leo are gonna be fan favorites for years to come. Them guys were just super excited, super energy, crunk and dancing around. It was the best, bro. Like them guys are gonna bring something to the kingdom that we've been wanting, man. So hell of a draft, bro. Hell of a draft.
Like I said, with Greek.
So
Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say. So I want to hear about that experience. You guys got to go to that.
Oh,
Yeah,
shout out to Boogie. Shout out to season ticket holder Boogie.
Yeah, it wouldn't be possible without Boogie, man. We wouldn't have been there without Boogie. So salute to him, man.
Salute to Bug
enjoyed it,
and his
man.
season tickets.
Yeah.
Yo, so we get there. It's windy. It is very cold.
My goodness, bro.
It's something about Arrowhead when the wind is really blowing. It gets in there and it just like circles around inside of the. It's cold. It was like 50, 60 degrees, but it was cold. It was just, I didn't even have no jacket on. I was freezing.
Yeah, country was tripping, dog. Without a jacket, I was like, I know he's hurting.
Man.
I know he's hurting.
Yeah. So we get there, 2,000 people, 3,000 people, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's decked out. You know, everybody face paint. We got super fans. We got Dante. Shout out to Dante was in the building. Eddie Howe was in the building. Brian B. Shannon was in the building. There was a couple people that were walking by like, man, what's up? And they were just pointing them out.
Right, I'm still getting recognized.
Chuck, hey, bro, Chuck is so funny. Chuck is like, nobody remembers that country. Nobody remembers that. And like 5 people were like, hey. And they were like, hey. And then the wolf recognized them. And Chuck was smiling like a little girl because KC Wolf recognized him.
Oh my gosh. You being boozy. You being boozy right now.
No, I'm being boozy. I'm being a little extra. No, it was cool. So son just told me push towards the front. We pushed towards the front. Before I get there, Kimball Anders came out. He was inducted into the Chiefs Hall of Fame.
Nice.
I know y'all remember Kimball Anders, man. If you've been a longtime fan, bro, he was nice. He was nice. So that was a big honor to see him out there. Clark Hunt talked and all that. And then Mitch comes to the stage. He starts bringing out the root. Well, Before that, he brought out friend of the show, Sean Barber, Kendall Gimmons, and Tamba Ali.
Yep.
They talked and they kind of went over the class and everything, and that was cool and that was fun. I was trying to get close to Tamba so I can get that interview, but I couldn't. Security was hating. But so
what?
then,
They don't trust you.
they don't trust me. We do a good job, man. We not gonna ask no crazy questions. No, but then Mitch brings the rookies out, and
oh man,
We got on this.
energy was
You got
crazy.
there we go.
Am I gone? Okay.
You was.
Ooh.
You was.
Oh no.
Yeah, now
Hey,
you really
we starting
gone.
as soon as this episode over, man. If anybody in the comments, if y'all fans of Kingdom Pass, we need $5 from everybody. We getting Google Fiber for country, man.
Man, 100. Hey, listen, Paul. I tried myself, Paul. You know, we trying to get VIP passes, Paul. They wasn't rocking with us, man. So it is what it is.
Oh my god.
But anyway, he's talking about Mitch bringing out the rookies, man. You know, Leo Chenal, like I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, that dude brought the most energy out of everybody. McDuffie brought good energy too. He came down afterwards, after the little interviews they did with Mitch. He gave everybody a 5 that was in the front row and everything. So country's depressed right now, dude.
We got the GoFundMe going, country. Don't worry about it. I got you, bro. Today, man.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
We go get it going as soon as it's over with, man. Fiber, man. First month we'll be on Kingdom Cast.
I'm about to go. I'm about to go to Google. I'm about to move to Google real fast.
Go to Google, man.
Yeah, put out your cash out, country.
I've been painting, so I might have messed my router up or something. I don't know what I did, but it. Shut up, man. I ain't got no damn AOL.
But
who knew there were so many internet jokes?
Man.
Hey, it all started with Clinton, man. Clinton kicked it off,
Yes.
so. But yeah,
Oh,
man. After we saw the rookies and everything, we got up out of there because country was getting cold as heck, shivering and everything. So we went upstairs and we got free food actually. You know, they was handing out free food stuff, so we hopped on that, drinks and whatnot.
Chuck had them glizzies, man.
Hey,
Chuck had like 3 glizzies.
Oh, man.
You had them too, bro. You had them too, bro. Relax.
You didn't see me eat mine, though, did you?
Nah, hey, listen. Nah, I saw you, bro. You was walking down. You walking up and down the hallway. You walking up and down the hallway on that glizzy, fam.
Oh, man.
Hey, before we forget, the new Chiefs Hall of Fame at Arrowhead is incredible.
Fire.
The way they set up the Hall of Fame. You know, it used to be in the middle. You used to walk through it. It's different. Like they set it up differently. Man, it was amazing. I wish Dante was in here because he had 4 glizzies too.
Right. The glizzy gladiators.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
Hey, Mac, wait, relax.
I love it.
That's not a good representation of Kingdom Cash, y'all.
Relax, Mac, wait. Relax, dude.
Chuck Glizzy. Oh, Chuck Glizzy. Oh, man.
Glizzy Chuck. He went from Good Luck Chuck to Glizzy Chuck. Nah, but
listen, that Chiefs Hall of Fame was dope. That Chiefs Hall of Fame was dope as hell. Like the presentation of it, everything, dude. Like they got it pretty lit up in there too, man. They got the Hall of Fame statues, you know, separated pretty well. You saw some game worn stuff displayed, cleats, and you just saw the history, like throughout the Chiefs' entire history, like the AFL, NFL stuff too, man. Like it's dope. The setup is dope.
Yeah, they got big screens with highlight packages on them too. So a lot of Lynn Dawson stuff and keep matriculating the ball down the field. Damn, what is his name? I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry.
Hank Stram, my guy.
Yeah, Hank Stram. Man, how did I forget that? So a lot of old school. They had some Montana jerseys in there. They had the Derek Fame Hall of Fame bus in there. lot of game worn stuff, man. It's really dope when you get a chance to go to a game. I can't wait till to go to a game. It's like, man, check it out. That new Hall of Fame is dope. It's still cold in Arrowhead, though. Jesus Christ,
Man.
Man. But
It's,
My goodness.
overall, we had a great time, though, man. We had a great time. I enjoyed myself. I'm sure country did too. So grateful to have that experience, man.
I'm happy the draft is over, y'all.
oh man,
Yes, yes. So our final draft show, man. We can move on to other stuff now. But before we move on to other stuff, like Kylie, let's get your opinion about the draft. I mean, how did you like the draft overall? What is your opinion about it?
So I for sure thought we were going to trade when we traded up. We were going to take Jermaine Johnson. So initially, I was a little bummed because I was really, really crushing on him. But then we took Trent McDuffie. He was a guy that I had liked since the combine. Since before that, I was really hyped on him. So I was like, okay, just like take a step back, kind of look at what they're doing. And then they took Karlaftis, and I was like, okay, so we're still addressing the needs. We took a cornerback, we took an edge, we took a wide receiver. Like, we really were addressing our needs. We weren't just going out and getting running backs or players or positions that we didn't need. I felt like this was a really smart draft. And you see a lot of teams go for just the best player on the board and not maybe the player that they need or the position that they need. And I feel like the Chiefs did that. They went for positions and players that fit their scheme and their style. And I'm pumped. I'm really excited. I didn't know a lot about Brian Cook, so I asked about him on Twitter, and a lot of people came with really great things to say. Super fired up about him. Really fired up about the energy that Leo's going to bring. I'm excited. I think I said it today, but I was like, when is September going to be here? Because I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do.
oh hey Chuck, and I changed my favorite player in this draft after I seen his YouTube. Kennard, man, hey, that boy got some fire in him, bro. He got a hell of a story. Came from the struggle. His mom had issues, and they made it through. And he got a chip on his shoulder the size of the golden nugget. And he gonna be starting right tackle. I'm already putting. We can start our bold prediction show right now. Damian Kennard or Kennard, whatever his name is, he gonna be starting right tackle by week 3.
They said he was pretty good.
Okay.
He just dropped because of his political stances. I seen the little shirt he had on and stuff.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah, bro, you under the microscope, bro. You can't just say anything, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I like MAGA offensive lineman, man. Come on with it, man.
Is Dorian or Darian? It's Darian. Okay, yeah. I'm killing these names, bro. I will learn your name.
Yeah, let's work on that. Let's work on that.
I'll get you some flashcards.
Yeah.
God.
I'm coming up with nicknames, bro. The Samoan kid. Is he Samoan?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Okay, because he look like Roman Reigns' cousin. You like a Uso. No disrespect. No disrespect.
Country, that can just be your thing. You're just not good at names, and that's okay.
That's my
You're good
thing.
at a lot of other things, right?
That's my thing.
Yeah, that's just your thing. It's okay.
I'm good at podcasting.
Hey,
You're good at podcasting.
Hey,
you know your stuff.
I heard it was garbage.
Allegedly.
Oh, right.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly it's garbage. But yeah, man, that's why Country. I'm talking Country to Charles Barkley of our podcast.
Oh, y'all got the same last. Y'all cousins? My boy Headspace said him and Joshua Williams used to be neighbors 10 years ago, but he don't like him now because your dog used to urinate in his yard. That's why he don't like you, bro.
Wait. I got a question for Boogie. Boogie, I know you were disappointed a little bit with the Jameson Williams pick. I got to know, so who are you most excited about out of the draft?
Good question.
I'm gonna lean towards Skye, but I like Trent. He's real intriguing to me. I like what he bringing to the table for real. I've been begging for that So, but I like what Scott, man. I like how Skye gets open on his own, man. He seemed like that Golden Tate, Doug Baldwin type receiver. So I think he'll be nice. Them two for sure. I think got the highest potential on our team. So I'm thinking about getting that Skye Moore jersey. For real, for real.
Ooh,
Yeah, that 24
it's a
look
good one.
fire.
It's a hot
Yeah,
lead.
yeah, it do.
That 24 look fire, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I,
Wait,
I
is he
want
24?
to see
Is
this.
that
I
his
want to see
number?
this Justin Ross kid,
That's his
bro.
number. That's his number.
Yeah, that was a hell of a quote. I like that.
I ain't see
I,
that.
I love people like that, dog. I'm ready to take a grown man job. Yeah, I love people that love to compete, man. So, Pacheco, he's gonna be our
It's the
return
kind
man
of energy
probably.
we need.
I see somebody
For
on the
sure.
timeline say that they reminded him of nowadays like one cut and go type of guy. That's a little physical. I mean, I can see a little bit of Nile in him. I have to watch a little more film on Pacheco, but he could be a decent return man for the squad.
And y'all know we cool with the
Sorry.
running backs, man. We can draft a running back besides the first round, and I got confidence in him with how we done did it for years here.
What happened?
Isn't keeping 24? Skye is 24.
Yeah, Skye is 24, Kyle.
But hold on, because Ingram's 24.
Oh,
Well,
So what
Not
if we keep
anymore.
Ingram?
well,
Look,
Ingram's
not
Well,
anymore.
maybe
right,
Oh,
right. Ingram lost
if
that.
he doesn't go elsewhere.
hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I did want Leo to get jersey number 5 though, as a linebacker, the same number he wore in college.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
like
they gave him Dan's number.
single digit linebackers. Like that's probably just a college thing, though. But that would have been a dope jersey.
Yeah, they gave him Dan's own number, 49.
Who?
Somebody, he said,
Who?
"What you mean who? What you mean who? You meant the guy that used to defend
wait.
quite often."
Oh, she about to bring it up. I'm out.
go ahead and do it.
Hold
You know you'll
on.
bring
We
it up
gotta
when
talk
get out
about
there,
it.
Kylie.
Go ahead,
Come on,
Kylie.
Kylie.
Go ahead, Kylie.
We got to talk about the fact that not only are they Tyrann and Dan playing together again, but he signed the contract with the Saints 2 minutes after for us to get that comp pick. Do you know that? 2 minutes after. So is there like
Yeah.
something they were doing on purpose there?
For
Shady.
sure on purpose. For sure on purpose.
Yeah.
It was definitely timing. With that. So that's funny too, man. That they teammates again. I'm like, dog. Tyron, you just saw yourself throwing up your hands and hold your hands above your head quite often with Dan in the secondary. But I think the Saints got a much better secondary this time, so I don't think Dan's gonna be seeing much time in the secondary, if that. So.
Yeah, the Saints did us dirty, man.
I mean, I ain't gonna say that.
I think I
I
would petition to the NFL. Like, come on, man, 2 minutes, bro. Come on.
Business is business. They wasn't gonna do it. They wasn't risking no pick for him, man. I mean, for
Yeah,
what?
we still
He
got
been
10
sitting
picks
around
next
this
year.
long.
It's all good.
Well,
Yeah.
so, and I think, well, Josh,
What?
Hefe, relax, man.
so I would personally like to see Ingram stay, but I think if he ends up going elsewhere, we'll get a comp pick for him too. So that would be another pick. But either way, like that's kind of, I'd rather see him on the team.
I don't even think we're getting a comp pick because I think MVS canceled out with the compensation. So we probably weren't gonna get that anyway. But
Yeah, Mr. Austin just brought it up.
Yeah. Man, I told you that. I'm trying to tell me, like I didn't just tell you.
We gotta bring back,
Ricky minicamp starts this week or next week? Next week?
It's coming up shortly. It's right around the corner, so.
Oh,
you know what? And then the schedule comes out.
Oh,
schedule comes out next week.
Yeah.
Next week. But we know we play the Chargers at home.
Week 2, yeah. On Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Public service announcement. These are country thoughts and country talks only.
Here we go.
Here we go. Public service announcement. These are country thoughts and country talks only. 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 These are country thoughts and count We need Mitch Holtis on the podcast for the scheduled release show. There's no other person I could think of that would be better as a guest than the voice of the Chiefs. So let's make that happen. Let's manifest that and make it happen.
Let's get it.
I want Mitch Holtis. He already liked the tweet, and that's just the beginning.
Come on.
These
with
are my
it,
thoughts and my thoughts only. Not
Yeah,
us.
it's halfway there.
We halfway there.
Hey, hold on. I want to
The
make
half
sure
the
I say this
battle.
for this episode in too, because I need to get my flowers. Country, you said you would say on live that Boogie, you was right if we traded up. You said we was not gonna trade up. I need to hear you say that, sir. I did not forget. I'm sorry. I hate it got to be like this.
Let it be put on the record that I was forced to say this.
No,
And then,
Boogie, I got your back. This is crap. You better say something.
We did. Boogie, you was right. The Chiefs traded up and got the third best corner in the draft, and I'm glad they did. But they did not trade up for a wide receiver. So partly you wrong.
No, I said you said they wasn't gonna trade up anyway because you thought they was gonna trade up for Jermaine Johnson.
I did.
They could
So,
have.
yes,
I
Boogie-
still can't believe it. Okay.
Boogie, you were right. Boogie, you were right.
Chuck, clip that for me. I need that for this season. I need that.
I can't stand this
Boogie,
dude.
you was right. I need to hit that button every time.
I have my
see
fingers
it,
crossed when I
need
said it.
that.
Boogie, I got your back. You know, the bottom half of the screen has to stay together. We gotta stick together here. So I got
That's
your
what I
back.
like to hear, man.
Oh,
Let's get it, Colin.
Dang.
We got it. Exactly.
yo. Hey, man, look, it's good to have everybody here. We had a great guest tonight, a special guest, a legend in the game. He did promise that he will come back for a full show, and we gonna hold him to that. All the Kingdom Kast followers, all the soldiers, we are army. I'm just gonna take that right now. We are army, and we coming for Mitch Holtis to be on the show. We're gonna make it happen.
We want to taste the sweet nectar, Mitch. Pause. Come on with it, man. We need you.
I'll say, wow.
I said
whoa,
pause, man. I said
whoa,
pause.
buddy.
Come
Whoa,
on the
buddy.
podcast. Come on with it.
Whoa.
Hold on, man.
What?
We need him on the
I'm gonna
podcast.
stick with him.
Come on, Mitch.
I gotta
I
stick
said
with
pause,
him.
man. Come on, man.
Say stop it, Boogie.
Come on, man. Bring Mitch on Kingdom Kast. Let's get it.
Boogie wild for that. He wild for
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Boogie,
Come
what
on,
would you
Mitch.
do?
Yeah, they on your head, bro. They on your head, fam. You
Pause. LOL. Boogie, after I said I'd have your back.
My fault,
I got
Kylie.
you.
I was
messed it up.
Come on, man.
He just messed it up for you, Kylie.
I know. Hold on.
I got a bad.
I still got your
PI too,
back.
man.
It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
We'll
Tag
get
Mitch,
through it
though,
together.
Man. We gotta make it happen. For real. All jokes aside.
Yeah,
we gotta
hey,
make it
all
happen, man.
jokes aside, I'm crying. We gotta make that happen. I'm on mid-head. Pause. I do not want to taste the shit.
Come on, man. Y'all know what I was saying, man. Come on, man.
We know.
I got you. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yo.
Man.
Lizzie, Chuck, don't
Sometimes
laugh,
they can be
man.
a little
Come on, man.
mean.
Juice, come on.
No,
shout me
it's
out, man.
fine.
We editing that out anyway, man. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the pause, granddad. So yeah. Chiefs minicamp is May 7th
Shut
through the
up.
9th. And then schedule releases on May the 12th. Oh no.
On Country Hill. Man.
Hey man, forget y'all, man. We love y'all, man. Look, If y'all can give me
Man.
A-Block by Lewis Reddick, I know y'all can give me Mitch Holtis, bro. I believe in the Army. I believe in our family and our fans and our followers. And Juice, get ready for them. Get them T-shirts ready, bro. We ready for it. Be mad at yourself.
The hump. Let's get it.
We are the hump.
Yeah, we are
Man.
the hump. I got something for that too.
We appreciate
Wait a minute. What?
we
You got something for what?
appreciate everyone always supporting us.
Talk about in the
Through it
back
all.
chat, man.
Okay. Hey. Oh, again, happy birthday, Kylie. It's belated, whatever.
Thank you. It is. It's okay. Thank you.
Take us out, Kendall. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye. Look. Say bye. Say like and
Cool hair.
subscribe. Like and subscribe, man. Follow us. Join the community. We almost at 100. Join the community. We had 97 last I checked. So join the community. Rock with us. Y'all know we rock with y'all. We're the most interactive podcast in Chiefs Kingdom. Believe it. Chuck, take us out.
100. So yeah, man, if you're on Twitter communities and if you have that, yes, go join the Kingdom Cast community.
We already had that in here.
You said what?
Nah, Mr. Austin said go get Danny.
We're gonna get to 100 tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you holler at Dana Hughes for me. Holler at me, bro.
Word. All right. So yeah, man. So yeah, let's get to 100 for sure. Let's make that happen tonight.
Let's get to 200
tonight.
Tonight.
Even better,
Okay.
200.
We're gonna
Let's
do
get
that
200 tonight. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not? Let's get to 200. Why not? So yeah, don't
Sky's
forget
the
to like.
limit.
Yeah, the ceiling is the roof.
I was just finna say that, Chuck. I swear to God.
The ceiling is the roof. I missed it.
Nah. You don't remember Michael Jordan said that?
Yeah. I was
The
we was
goat.
drinking sweet nectar.
Man,
Boy,
we
oh
out,
boy.
man. Like and subscribe.
We gotta go. We gotta
Yeah.
go. Bye.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on your social media platforms. Till the next episode, we out of here, people.
Say bye, Chuck.
Bye, Chuck.
Bye, Kendall.
Peace.